Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another video. It's been a minute since I picked up the camera and I've shot a vlog, so I figured today after I finished out my workout, we'd walk down the street and do a little thrifting. And here we are, Goodwill. I don't think I've ever shown this actual store on my channel before. It's actually relatively new. It opened about a month or two ago. I did come to the grand opening, but I didn't really find too much to film. However, I've stopped in here a few times since then and done relatively well. They've actually done a really good job of keeping this store clean. Like, it's one of the cleanest Goodwills I've ever seen. Hello. That's a nice looking jacket. What brand is that? Swerve? Oh, that's a cycling brand. It's a pretty good cycling brand, actually. 10 bucks. It's got like some warping and stuff on the elbows and under the armpits. That's unfortunate. Swerve is a really good brand. That's a bolo to look for. If you ever see this tag, check it out. It's got some good value behind it, but I'm gonna leave this one. But yeah, anyways, they've done a pretty good job of keeping this store pretty clean and organized. And I think today I'm gonna start over here in the men's section. Oh, we might have our first piece right here. Look at that, it's on the old school wrestling tag right there. That's usually a good sign that it's an older piece of clothing. And I believe that is Nexus, if I'm not mistaken. We are one. Not too bad if that's vintage, $6.99. I think that's worth the chance anyways. Wrestling stuff always sells for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. I actually don't know too much about wrestling, but whenever I get the stuff in, it always flies out of my store. Up, and then look at that, a little bread and butter piece. Nice little LL Bean flannel right here, nothing huge, slightly fitted. Not a huge score, but for $7.99, I always grab these. That's an easy 25 bucks in the cart. Oh, then look at that. That was just 2 or 3 shirts down. A nice big Roar spell out. Not the best brand. It's been falling off a little bit. Oh, this one's brand new with tags. Look at that. That is a great brand to find new with tags. 8 bucks. It's been falling off a little bit, but I'm for sure still grabbing that. Usually still go for like 25, 30 bucks. I don't know what that'll go for with the tags, but it's got the big rhinestones too, which is always what you want to look for with that brand. Now, unfortunately, I don't think anything that we're going to find today is going to be on sale because the Goodwills in my area at the beginning of the year unfortunately removed the colored tag discount program. So no matter what color the tag is anymore, there is no discount. There used to be like a weekly color where that color would be like 50% off or something like that. But I guess they're not doing that anymore. They also got rid of the military and senior discounts, so that's a little unfortunate. In my mind, what it means is they're going to have a lot of extra clothes to be sending off to the bins and to throw away. Might as well just discount them and sell them, but hey, it's their business. Okay guys, do you see what I see right there? That sleeve, look at this. I was just looking through the ties and that sleeve caught my eye. I bet you I know what that is. I think I've sold this exact pattern of shirt before. If I'm right, this is a Loudmouth. $7.99 on it. Oh, hold on, I can't see the label. It is, it's Loudmouth. And it's brand new with tags. Look at that. That's insane. Loudmouth is such a good brand. If you ever see that, grab it. Short shirts, everything sells. And look at that pattern. That is so cool. It almost looks like a chef apron. Look at that buttons on there. That's wild to find that brand new for 8 bucks. What a score. That's a come up. And actually, speaking of come-ups, earlier this week, I had a huge score at one of the Village discounts here. I actually did get a clip of it. I didn't film a whole video or anything about it, but I'll show it to you later in this video. It is absolutely insane. When I get home, I'll show it to you because then I can talk about the piece itself. It's something that I think a lot of you are going to be really interested in. I've never found one before, and I was stoked to finally pull one. It's a crazy, crazy piece, but that'll be later in the video. And guys, the finds just keep on coming. Look at this. This store's actually hitting right here. Not one, but 2 different Arc'teryx polo shirts. That is a fantastic brand to look for. If you ever find their jackets sell for hundreds of dollars. But even the polos like this, just a simple, basic, plain polo shirt is going to sell for like 40 bucks. And these are only priced at 6 bucks each. What a fantastic score we are having at this store. Let's keep filling this cart up. Okay, then not a huge score here, but it's a nice little bread and butter piece. I don't pick up a ton of Polo Ralph Lauren anymore, but anytime I see the Pima cotton, I will still grab it. The short sleeves still go for right around 20, 25 bucks, and so do the vests, so I'll go ahead and snag that. That one's priced at $7.99. That's just an easy bread and butter piece. Okay, so I decided to come over to the pants because I figured, hey, if someone donated a loudmouth shirt, there might be some shorts, but I ended up coming across a different brand that I've never sold before. These are called Stance, if you can see that tag right there, and they feel really high quality, so I looked them up, and it looks like they're going for between 20 and 30 bucks. They have them priced at $7, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this new brand a chance. If you've ever sold it before, let me know down in the comments. I personally haven't. Actually, a lot of times I just steer away from the pants section in general just because they're not my favorite things to sell. I don't really like photographing them, but every once in a while I'll take a look through and something will surprise me. Okay, these aren't worth anything, but they are super interesting. Look at this. Someone turned one of those like wool blankets into a pair of custom pants right there. Those are pretty cool. And actually, speaking of surprising pants finds, look at these. There's some bright blue vintage Nike nylon track pants right there. These vintage Nikes actually do really well. $8. That tag right there, that gray tag, that's either late 80s or early 90s. I'm gonna grab those. Man, that blue is like popping on the camera. That's kind of wild. It's not that bright in person. Okay, maybe I should go through the pants and shorts a little bit more often at this store. Look at that pair of Chubbies right there. I haven't found Chubbies in so long. How much are these? $7? Okay, I think I'm gonna call things here. I just did a quick walkthrough of the hard goods. Didn't really see anything I wanted to grab, but our cart is looking pretty full, so I am really happy with how this store ended up turning out. Let's go see what the damage is. And there we go. Our total ended up actually being just under 60 bucks, but I also had some points saved up, so I got 15 bucks off, bringing our total of $50 for that giant stack of clothes. Now let's go on home. I got a few things to ship out. I'll show you a few little key items that have to go out today. There's some pretty good sales, and then we'll hop over and I will show you that amazing find that I had earlier this week. Again, I think you guys are gonna be really stoked to see it. Check it out, I just got back home and had a package waiting for me. I think this is from Whatnot, so we can do a quick little live unboxing here. I still do source on Whatnot pretty frequently. It's just a good place to go if you're just sitting around, you know, have it open. You might find something really, really good on here like I did with this box. I think I ended up paying like $25 or something like that for everything inside here. The first thing here is a vintage Backstreet Boys t-shirt right here from 2005. This one's actually pretty funny because earlier today we also bought a wrestling shirt, and like I said, it flies out of my store whenever I get it, so this is a Big Face Sting t-shirt right here. And then our final shirt here is a Luther Vandross t-shirt right here. There's the front and the back. It is a little ate up here on the sides, but hey, for a vintage t-shirt, I will happily pay what I did. Now, these jeans right here are the reason I started buying stuff from this person at their auction. This was the first item that was up for sale. They were in the estate sale category, so they were just kind of going through everything. But this is a pair of kickwear jeans. Here's a close-up of the patch. If you ever see that out there in the wild at thrift store or something, make sure you grab it. But these are extremely valuable and collectible. People love them. They go for over $100. Oftentimes they can go for over $200. Now this pair I think may have been chopped at the bottom. I'm not 100% sure if it was made like that or not. But this is just a highly desirable brand, and it's definitely one that you want to look out for. So that was 100% worth the 25 bucks I spent at that auction. And actually, speaking of Whatnot, I do want to do more of it on my end. I've been kind of slacking on it, to be honest, but I have a ton of stuff like vintage toys, vintage video games, vintage clothing, obviously, and I got a bunch of stuff that I'm ready to auction off. So I think this year what I'm going to try to do, starting after this video, is try to run one Whatnot show every week or so. So if you go to my Whatnot profile right now, you should see a show that you guys can bookmark, and if you use the code down in the description, you'll get $15 off your first purchase. This is not a sponsored segment or anything. I just want to run more auctions, so if you want to see that, join me over there in a few days. Yeah, but now let's go do some shipping. Now I don't have a ton of stuff going out today, but I figured I'd show you you know, some of what is going out because there are a few cool items before I show you the awesome thrift find that I had earlier in this week. Actually, I had two pretty awesome thrift finds earlier this week, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for the one because it is a mind-blowing piece. Anyways, let's ship some stuff. So first up, we've got Alien Trilogy on the Sega Saturn, disc only, that sold for $35. Then we've got a Harvard University sweater. It's brand new with tags and it ended up selling for $55. This Amity Affliction shirt sold for $20. Twisted Edge on the N64 went for $10. Chef from South Park sold for $140. Here's a bit of an uncommon brand, John Varvatos. It's a hoodie and it ended up selling for $25. Followed by two more really nice sales. The first one was Halo Trilogy. It's the complete original soundtrack. This was brand new and sealed. I picked it up at an estate sale not too long ago. It sold for $100. And then for $115, we got a G59 long sleeve shirt that also sold. And then finally, the last thing that is going out today is this Bloomberg World Watch. This is from the same estate sale that I picked up the Halo Trilogy at, and that one ended up selling for $45. Now, I'm not going to show you guys like me packing up the orders and stuff because that would get repetitive, but while I do that, I will play the clip of the first thrift store find. It's of a bunch of retro video games, and I figured you guys would like to see it because you don't really find retro games at thrift stores as much anymore, but there was some pretty cool stuff there. And then we'll do the second one, which is the exciting one. Check it out over here in the case. They got a bunch of vintage video games today. Sega Game Gear. It says it's for parts, but it's the blue edition. That's probably worth it for $10.50. Got an N64 Game Boy pack, $5.50 on that. Those are like $15. Snowboard Kids N64. That is a great one for $10.50. And Rampage 2, another good one. And down here we got Sega Saturn Bootleg 2. Not for resale. I don't know what that is. And there's two Super Nintendo games as well. Blackthorn, I don't know what that one is, but for $2.50 I'm going to grab it. And Zoop. Zoop's not expensive, but I mean $2.50. I'm not going to leave it. That's crazy. They never really have vintage games here, so I'm excited for this. So here's what I ended up grabbing out of that case right there. I wish I could have grabbed everything, but at the prices that some of the stuff was asking, like the N64 games, I only grabbed a few of those. But for $2.50 on the Super Nintendo games, I wasn't going to leave either of these behind. We got Blackthorn right here, and then Zoop, not a huge score right there, but for $2.50, again, I'm not going to leave it behind. Then this, I'm interested to see what this actually is when I put it in the system to play it. It's a Sega Saturn Bootleg 2. I'm guessing there's probably like demo games on here. I'm not 100% sure, but it does say not for resale, which usually indicates that this was either in a magazine giveaway or it was like a demo disc for a video game store. And then for $10.50 a game here on the N64 stuff, we got New Tetris, Snowboard Kids, which is a great game if you've never played it. It's like Mario Kart on snowboards, and then Rampage 2. And then finally, the last thing I picked up there at the case was the Sega Game Gear for parts. It's the Blue Sports Edition, and it did have Taz in the back right there, if that'll focus. But this could end up being the best score of the store because they said the screen was not working on it, but it's a relatively easy fix. It probably just needs new caps in there, which I know how to do. So that could turn out to be a very, very nice score. Now, let me show you guys the insane finds that I had at one of the Village discount outlets. This is easily my best find of 2025 so far, and it's probably going to be one of my best individual items for this entire year. This thing was absolutely insane, and I couldn't believe it was sitting there on the rack. So let's roll the clip. Y'all check out what I just pulled at the thrift store right here. This is an unassuming grail. It might just look like a brown cardigan sweater, but this is a vintage McGregor powder snow mohair cardigan. These things are super expensive. They only got $13.99 on it. That's probably a couple $100 right there. That is absolutely crazy. I've never found one of these before, but it's something that has been on my radar for a while. I've seen somebody else pull one on Instagram before, so it's my turn now. What a crazy score. So, as you guys could probably tell from that clip, I was pretty stoked to see this thing sitting at the thrift store, especially for only $13. And the reason I knew what this was when I saw it was because I remembered a post from a few years back of another reseller posting the one that they found and seeing what they got for it. It was absolutely mind-blowing for me, and ever since then, this has been something that I have wanted to find. So what I'm sure you guys are wondering about the value. This thing is obviously a pretty rare piece. I'm pretty excited about it, and from what I can tell, there have only been 2 of these cardigans that have been listed on eBay in the last 6 months. One of them ended up selling for $600, and the other one ended up selling for $800, which is obviously pretty insane for a sweater. And I'm sure now you guys are wondering, why is this thing so valuable? Well, it's one of the iconic sweaters that Kurt Cobain used to wear throughout his music career. And obviously people are crazy for anything Kurt, so this sweater is something that people and collectors want to buy. They want to have the items that he had, and that's what makes this thing so valuable. And on top of that, it's a rare piece in general. And actually, if you think that's crazy, one of his actual personal sweaters, you know, one that he actually owns, had sold at auction back in like 2019, and that one ended up selling for like $330,000. So that should give you a pretty good scope as to what people are willing to pay for stuff that was either owned by him or, you know, stuff that is comparable to something that was owned by him. You know, they want his style. Anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the thrift store scores earlier this morning. Hopefully you enjoyed that crazy pickup right there with that McGregor Powder Snow sweater. And, you know, who knows, maybe one day you'll come across one yourself. But thank you guys all for watching. I'm going to end things off here. As always, thank you again, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until next time, keep on treasure hunting. Peace.